So this week, what we're talking about is calories in versus calories out. Why it works versus why it doesn't. Overall, I'm a firm believer. I don't buy into the calories in, calories out myth. I don't think it's that simple. The logic behind it, the math behind it, yes, can work if we're measuring these calories accurately. The thing is, Chris and I were talking about measuring accurately to the best of our ability through a whole avocado or a half of avocado, based off what Google says the amount of calories are in an avocado. Google doesn't actually know. It comes up with a pretty good guess, but is your avocado this big or this big? I've had them both. Are the seeds in the avocado tiny or large? You're not eating the seeds, you're eating the leftovers. You can look up calories and you can get a pretty close guess on it. And that's what we've been tracking so that we can get an understanding of what we're eating, but we can't rely on that to be perfect by any means or any stretch of the imagination. Chris and I were talking about, okay, you're getting around that 1,500 calorie mark. She's probably getting more the more we looked into it. And okay, we might not be tracking everything perfectly, but she's probably getting in a little bit more based off our conversation. We aren't measuring calories with precision coming in, whether it's if it's processed foods, just because it says it on the label doesn't mean anybody has actually verified that. Nobody goes in and checks to see if a company is telling the truth. If it's been proven that they're lying about it or they're wrong about it, then there can be a question about it. But then when it comes to whole foods, that's what I want us focused on more, anyways. If you get sourdough from cat sourdough from your neighbor from the grocery store, it can be entirely different recipes. It can have entirely different amounts of things in there to give it the nutrients that it has. We don't know how to measure these things accurately. A steak, is a steak marbled with fat all the way in the middle? Is it on the section where you can cut it off? We don't know. A steak might have X amount of protein, X amount of grams of fats. The oils that you're cooking things with, hopefully we're cooking with some kind of cooking oil, grass-fed butter, olive oil, tallow, avocado oil, whatever it might be. Are we tracking those things because they naturally have higher amounts of calories? I don't want you fear getting too much calories. For many of us, especially because we're intentional and we care about these things, I want you being more concerned with not getting enough calories because your body's not fueling itself. Secondly, we don't know how many calories our body burns. Our body burns calories at different rates. Our Hume scale that we're using, you all have access to it on your phone right now. It will tell you your basal metabolic rate. I'll see if I can pull mine up easy for you. Your basal metabolic rate is on the second page towards the bottom, right there. You can see it backwards. Mine's 1942. That's how many calories the app says that my body burns at rest based off of height, weight, body fat, and muscle mass. This app assumes my body burns about 2,000 calories at rest. There's a lot of science to get these numbers. Metabolically active cells are one of the things they look at to find that number, which is very interesting to me. But it still doesn't take in consideration how your hormones are functioning. Your hormones help to determine how your body's burning energy, how it's storing energy, and then the quality of foods that you are eating. There is plenty of research out there to prove that ultra processed foods at, let's just say, 2,000 calories versus whole foods at 2,000 calories, your body utilizes the whole foods. It stores the processed foods. So when you're talking about burning energy, we talk about burning calories. Think about it as energy. Calories are a form of measurement for energy. So when your body doesn't know how to utilize the nutrients from the ultra processed foods, it becomes much more efficient with the whole foods. You're burning more calories. That's a good thing because your body's putting them to work. We want your body to put them to work. But these are just factors of we are not measuring accurately of what's coming in, what's coming out. Let's see. Your body still doesn't know, or our measuring isn't able to track our hormones, or the bioavailability of the nutrients in the food. That was just the wording that I had. So, all that to say, calories are important. I'm focused on macros. I'm about to go over a few things of what happens in your body when you aren't getting enough calories when your body's in starvation mode. This research was done based off of a 1,500 calorie diet for men. So we'll kind of keep that in mind with the idea about it. Overall, 1,500 calories, 1,500 are too few of calories for the majority of people. Let's backtrack for a second. We all worked on the first week, we all worked on finding our total calories for the day based off of protein. I gave you a good complex formula to figure out how to get 35% of your daily calories coming from protein. Olivia and I were talking about this, and we think that's still very accurate. For some people, that sets you up to have too few of calories for some people. What we've done with some of these people is adjust it to 30%. Overall, the daily recommended allowance is 25 to 35% of your calories coming from protein. I want that high range because I don't think people are getting it enough. So I'm setting very high standards on that 35%. What we've noticed, though, is what I'm getting at, is some people need closer to 30% because they need more calories in their overall diet. And so that can help bump the other numbers up, such as fat and carbohydrates. So hopefully you still have that formula. If you want to play with it a little bit, that is okay. But basically, whatever that number is, make sure it makes sense. It's not too close to that 1,500 mark. If it is too close to 1,500, bump up the protein, maybe bump up the calorie or the carbohydrates and fat as well. We're going into this next section talking about what happens in your body when you're getting too few calories. Overall, again, 1,500 for men is what they measured it at. It's going to change person by person. Number one is metabolic suppression. Metabolic suppression is your metabolism using the bare minimum to keep you alive. Your body learns how to burn less because that's what it's getting. It burns less, and that's what it has to work with. If you're only getting 1,000 calories a day, which is not unheard of, unfortunately, your body figures out, okay, what do I need to kind of ignore and not take care of to make sure that I can keep this human being alive? You're going to be low energy. You're going to deal with brain fog. You're going to deal with muscle imbalances, things like that. It's going to put the calories where it absolutely needs to. That's not efficient. That means your metabolic system is not burning many calories. Mine at rest is almost burning 2,000 calories, which means my activity level needs is also going to burn about 2,000 calories. I need 4,000 calories to maintain the same weight. My goal, Chris's goal, Jenna's goal, Carol's, some people in our group were trying to gain muscle mass. Other people in our group are trying to burn body fat. If I'm trying to gain muscle mass, I need more calories than my basal metabolic rate and my active calorie burning rate. Does that make sense? Give me a head nod. Good.
Yes.
If we want to be in a calorie deficit, we want to be in a small calorie deficit. I'm not against calorie deficit. Some of us, yes, do want to lose weight. My point is, we're not measuring it accurately. So let's focus on whole foods and foods that serve us. But number one, if you're in starvation mode, if you're starving yourself based off the research, not based off how you feel, then your body is not burning calories. It suppresses your metabolic system. When your metabolic system does not have enough fuel to operate on, it downgrades the other systems in the body. Yes, we all need a brain, but some brains work better than others, and we know that just by talking to some people. Um, you might know that based off talking to your spouse on a good day versus a bad day of food.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about hangry for a second. The hormone response, this is the second topic on getting too few calories. Your hormone response to having too few of calories, your cortisol spikes and stays elevated. Cortisol is a stress hormone. When your body is in that starvation mode, it's considered stress. You might be having a nice day, but if you're starving yourself, you're putting your body through that stress. Your body is storing extra body fat, especially around the belly. Maybe you're stressed because of everyday life. Maybe your body is stressed because of what you've taken it through. Maybe it's stressed because of the workout that we took you through. There's controls to that. So in a workout that we take you through, it's 30 minutes, an hour tops. We take you through that, your cortisol spikes and then it lowers. That's the rhythm we want. When we're chronically stressed because of life, because of work, because of us not dealing with the things that are coming to us, or too few calories, your cortisol spikes and it stays elevated all day long. It stores body fat. Too few calories also decrease your sex hormones, your testosterone, your estrogen, and your libido. too few of calories, it's not going to help with sex hormones because your body doesn't look at that as a priority. I look at it as a priority. One, we're all married. We want to be taking care of these things and the longevity of things, but also these things affect how we do everything. So if we're low testosterone, we're low motivated. We're not storing strength and storing muscle mass in the same manner. Estrogen has so many wonderful functions for men and women. When we're starving ourselves, we suppress these hormones and things aren't functioning well. Body breakdown. Overall, think about this. You're putting energy into things. You're working out, you're moving. We're talking about getting in these extra activities, this extra moving. If you're in starvation mode, where are those calories going to? To moving your legs, to helping think in order to function as a normal human being. Your liver still has to digest and process and clean, filter everything that's going through your body. Certain things are still going to work, maybe at a lower pace. Your body is going to steal this energy, yes, from other systems, but also from your muscle mass, from your bones. Your body is going to pull the energy, pull the calories, pull the nutrients that it needs. When it can't find it, it's saying, okay, we don't need as much here. We don't need as much for hormone production. We don't need as much for the brain. We don't need as much for digestion. Now it's saying, okay, we don't have enough. Let's get it from the muscles. We're going to pull it from the muscles. That's one of the most quickly bioavailable sources. If you don't have enough carbs and fats going through your system, it's going to take the protein. It's also going to break down the muscle itself. So for our muscle building group, we know that that's directly hindering our growth. But for our fat burning group, if your muscle is breaking down, it's going to be stored as fat also. Your muscle mass goes down, your body fat percentage automatically goes up. That's just the simple math of the situation. Your muscle mass goes up, body fat's naturally going to go down. Let's assuming we're staying at the same weight. If your muscle mass goes down, your body fat percentage goes up. It will also break down your bones. These two right here, breaking down your bones, breaking down your muscles, are one of the biggest reasons why I got in this camp of not liking fad diets at all, because people will starve themselves. People will lose all this weight. Oh, I've lost 50 pounds. That's great, but you look weak. That's great, but you fell and you broke a hip in your 50s. I see this stuff happen all the time. There's research behind it all day, every day, but I see it with clients too, where they will starve themselves, be excited that they lost so much weight. And I want to be excited with them. I want to celebrate, but I know that they're not doing it in a healthy manner. They're weaker than ever before on a visible level, not to mention the what we cannot see from outside the body. Breaking down bones, breaking down muscles is not worth losing weight. Getting too few of calories will do that. Your scale might go down, but this challenge isn't looking at the scale. We're looking at the body fat percentage. We're looking at the muscle mass. Your body will put energy where needed, such as what you force it to go through. That's what's needed. If you're depleted of energy and you still push through 5 workouts in a week, it's not going to be nearly as efficient for you. Not feeding it enough will result in your body breaking down muscle tissue and bones. Too few of calories will also decrease recovery, such as we break you down in a workout, we expect you to recover to build stronger. If we only break you down in a workout and you don't recover, then you're only getting further and further broken down. It weakens your immune system. This isn't necessarily with fat loss or muscle building, kind of is. If you're sick, you're not able to show up to the gym, you're not able to eat enough. When your immune system is weak, your life suffers because of it. When your recovery is weak, your life is suffering because of it. Make sure we're eating enough. And then mental function. Your brain burns the most calories. Your body's moving, your body's burning calories, your energy systems are working through everything. Your brain is the most calorie dense burning machine in the entire body. Not to mention, we want it operating at peak capacity for anything that we do. That's the message. Eat more protein. If you need to, adjust your percentages. That formula I sent you, I think everybody has it on email. Plug in that 0.35, plug it into 0.3 and see what that does with kind of increasing your entire total calories per the day. Do your best to still track. I still think it's a useful tool. You can still send that to me if you need it, if you need to. But overall, I just want to make sure you're eating enough protein and balancing the rest. Two, if you really want to be efficient at your body using and burning calories, which also makes you more hungry, eat whole foods. Overall, Carol was telling me that she's having a hard time eating enough protein, but when you're getting more whole foods, it fills you up sooner. When you're eating ultra processed foods, it's easy to snack and keep snacking and keep snacking. Then you forget how long you've been snacking, and then that whole bag is gone. With Whole Foods, try to do that with fresh potatoes. You're gonna get filled up very quickly. With little chicken bites, you're gonna get filled up pretty quickly. So when you're eating whole foods, your body is able to use those nutrients a whole lot more. You're also going to need more. Okay, you're not going to overeat with whole foods. Chrissy was asking me, I think I might be eating too many fruits and vegetables. I doubt it. I was going through and reading everything and trying to figure out what we can do differently. How can we measure things appropriately? I don't think anybody's eating too many fruits and vegetables. Rosie might be eating too much fruit because she goes to the refrigerator constantly and just wants that sweetness. That's not us on a normal basis. So make sure you're getting enough protein. Try to get all your foods from whole foods. Your body uses these things more efficiently. There's more bioavailable. So forget how many calories you're getting. If you're getting fewer calories because we're getting whole foods, but those calories are now available to your body, then we're not dealing with these negative side effects that I talk about. Um, and then third, this is one of the biggest things I want you to get at this entire meeting. Change the way we view food. Look at nutrients over calories. Don't stress the calories. What I'm telling you is if you don't get enough, don't worry about measuring necessarily because we're not measuring accurately, but make sure you're getting enough to fuel your body. Eat a full meal. Eat a meal of variety of colors. Eat as many things within that meal as you can and try to get 3 meals in a day. If you're doing that, you're going to be doing pretty good. If you're not doing good enough, get a little bit more protein in your shakes. If you're having 2 eggs, let's bump it up to 3. Carol talked about doing a whole chicken breast at once. Some people can do that. To some people, that is very hard to stomach, especially at the end of a long day. And I've been in your shoes where I'm just exhausted. I don't want to eat. And now I have a tremendous amount of food I had to chew up. Do what you have to do, break it down, eat 4 meals a day if we need to. But when you're looking at nutrients over calories, you tend to not care about eating a little bit more, or those days you eat a little bit less. We don't have to stress it. We know we're putting our energy in the right place. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Perfect, perfect. That's what we want to do this week, is eat more protein, eat more whole foods, and then change the way we view things. Don't feel like you have to eat fewer calories than you burn. It's not that simple. If you're following what I've been saying with getting enough protein for the day, keeping your body moving consistently. So, Chris, you might not have hit your normal workout goals this week, but you got 3 strength training workouts in, and then you've been able to be active on other situations. Right on the right track. Do we want 4? Yeah. Do we want 5? Yeah. Do we want 6? Maybe. Maybe, as long as we are recovering. Food is going to help you recover. So if we're always achy, if we're always sore, if we don't feel like we're recovering from workouts, you might need more nutrients. Questions with anything talked about today?
One thing I was like tracking the macros and somebody was saying they eat too many vegetables. Like I cut back, like I usually eat a big salad for lunch every day, but I was trying to add the protein, so I was adding tuna and I couldn't eat both. And the salad has so many carbohydrates, even though it's whole food. That's kind of where like the vegetables and the fruit have so much carbohydrates.
It's a
So I seem
hard
to go,
It's a hard balance. I understand what you're saying. I'm not against anybody eating salad. Overall, I know a lot of people who eat salad for every lunch and every dinner, and then they also don't get enough protein.
right,
It's just the balance. I'm not afraid of too many carbs, especially if they're coming from good sources, but we're going to talk about this, I think, next week. Too many carbs by themselves spike your blood sugar levels. When your blood
right,
sugar level spikes, we store belly fat. When we eat larger amounts of carbs with fats, fibers, and proteins, it slows down digestion and it
right.
doesn't spike your insulin levels or your blood sugar levels. So finding that balance is kind of the key. I'm not a big fan of worrying about carbohydrates. I just want to make sure I get protein with it. So I keep saying balance. Maybe one day do the fish, one day do the salad. Maybe try to get a smaller portion of both so that you can get both.
Okay.
And then also another idea is just eat them at two separate times.
Right.
When I was in high school, the wrestlers they were trying to get to a certain weight class or get down to a certain weight class. They would just have spoons of peanut butter. They would wake up in the middle of the night to eat. I don't recommend that for us, but they were doing everything they could to gain weight. They were doing like two protein shakes a day. They were having meals after meals after meals to try to get up to a certain weight. Um, I, to a degree, can find a balance with that of just what is it going to take to eat a little bit more? If your stomach doesn't want to hold that much in one meal, okay, well, get a fourth meal. Get a little snack after your lunch before dinner, as closer to lunch as possible.
Okay.
Cool. Anybody else? Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? Awesome. Stay moving, especially this weekend. If you're not coming to class, spend 20 minutes stretching at home. You're going to feel better from it. You're going to get some blood flow going. Your body's going to deliver those nutrients where they go, help you feel your best. As we're trying to burn fat, as we're trying to build muscle, we want to recover efficiently. That allows us to continue on this journey. Other than that, we will see you guys, some of y'all in a little bit, some of y'all Monday.